What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Sports Binge with your host, Will Cotchery. Hope all is well wherever you are, and I hope you guys been doing all right this summer so far, enjoying this NFL offseason. Well, you got to use enjoy to, like, with a grain of salt because it's not real football going on. But I hope you guys are making do without regular season ball as of today. So right now, I just want to introduce a new series that I'm doing throughout the course of the next several weeks. It's going to be me ranking the greatest teams in each of the NFL divisions all time. Now, when I say all time, I'm specifically only including or considering the teams from 2002 onward to the present day, and that's so important because in 2002, that's when the NFL realigned the divisions to include the Houston Texans. So instead of like the old formats from the past, we now have 8 divisions with 4 teams in each because of their inclusion during their expansion 2002 season for the Texans. So I just wanted to throw that caveat out there as well. We're only considering teams, all the teams for each division from 2002 all the way up to the current day. Now, just another disclaimer: this is not I didn't use any specific or analytical algorithm to make these lists up. So it's just a top 10 teams from each division history. It's not no specific analytical data that I'm using. I'm just going off mainly just team record for that win-loss record for the regular season, and just going through like the division records and this other disclaimers from there. Because a lot of it is really just close knit. Is close knit and just splitting hairs because there's so many similar win-loss records for all the teams. So if you just stand out in any specific particular way, if you represented the NFC or the AFC in the conference championship, especially going to the Super Bowl, let alone winning it, those tend to get a lot of weight as well. So just like I said, it's just a lot of these teams are what and what. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. So you want so don't get too emotional. It's just really just something pass the time. Just really the interesting topic that I came up with. So without further ado, here are the top 10 teams for each division's history series. To round out the Eastern divisions, we go to the AFC East. At number 10, we have the 2018 New England Patriots, finishing 11-5 for the regular season, including 5-1 in divisional play. Now, despite being world champions, this team, win-loss record-wise in the regular season, this was the worst team that the Patriots has fielded since the 2009 campaign when they finished 10-6 as a wild card team when they lost to the Baltimore Ravens at home. Now, the team was still top 5 offensively, ranking 4th and 5th in points average and yards average respectively. In defense, scoring defense, they were 7th, but in total yardage average, they were only placed 21st. So that was that. So they were still obviously a solid, really solid team. But as far as Patriot standards in the last 20 years, doesn't really stack up as far as the win-loss record. And that plays a huge part in their 10th ranking on this list. Nonetheless, they once again made it to the Super Bowl and shut down the Los Angeles Rams to claim for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick to claim their 6th championship. And they just been an unbelievable duo. The best in the history of the sport, bar none. Number 9, we have the 2015 Pats. They ranked 36 in points scored and yardage put forth respectively, and 10. And defensively, they ranked just inside the top 10. Lost the conference championship game to the Denver Broncos, who eventually won the Super Bowl. They put forth 465 points that year to only allowing 315. So as you may expect, it's gonna be a Patriots latent list, Pat's latent list. So this has been their division. This is no surprise. Shouldn't be any surprise to you guys. They really dominated, unlike any team has dominated a division ever in the history of the league. So this should be the quickest video I do in this series. At number 8, we have the 2017 New England Patriots, finishing 13-3 for the regular season, including 4-2 against the AFC South. They placed 2nd and 1st in scoring offense and total offense, respectively, including 5th in scoring defense, but they ranked all the way down to 29th in yardage allowed. So basically, they were a bend but don't break type of team, which would bode well for them going into the Super Bowl where they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. At the seventh slot, we have the 2014 Pats, finishing 12-4 in the regular season, including 4-2 in divisional play. This team was fourth in scoring offense and eighth in scoring defense, and they finished 11th and 13th in total offense and total defense, respectively. Ended up winning the Super Bowl in dramatic fashion, probably the most iconic Super Bowl I've ever seen, and really, quite frankly, probably ever, depending on who you're asking. Ended effectively ending with the Malcolm Butler interception, which I've said in the past is the biggest play in the history of the New England Patriots franchise. Because not only that interception, it was surprising, shell-shocking, and that not only did it help seal the Patriots' victory, and to give them their fourth Super Bowl championship under the Bill Belichick Brady era. It ended their decade-long title drought between titles. So I feel like that was so monumental for their legacy. Even though they've been to two Super Bowls before that in that decade-long stretch, for them to finally come back out on top after a 10-year wait, that was really monumental for their legacy. And yeah, I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking on that play. At the sixth spot, we have the 2006 New England Patriots, finishing 14-2. 12-4 in the season, placing seventh in total in scoring offense and second in scoring defense. So one of the higher more complete teams of the era, of the Brady Belichick era. Losing heartbreaking fashion to the Colts, to our rival Colts in the conference championship game, for Peyton Manning to go on to the Super Bowl and win his first of two NFL titles. At number 5, we have the 2010 Patriots, 14-2 record and 5-1 in divisional play. They really was another dominant team, ranking first in scoring offense and eighth in scoring defense. First in scoring offense and eighth in scoring defense. Eighth in total offense, only 25th in total defense. So another year where Tom Brady and the offense was carrying the load per usual, since after the 2005 run, where the defense was really carrying the team in the early part of the 2000s decade. They dominated the game against the Jets, so I feel like the Jets was falling off and falling apart, but they ended up responding really well. The Jets and actually beating the Patriots in their home stadium in Gillette in Foxborough. So, like I said, if they would have finished at least in the conference championship game, they'd probably been slightly higher, but this is where they stand for this list today. At the fourth spot, we have the 2003 Patriots. Now, this is where we start to get to the upper echelon of the peak Patriots teams back in the early 2000s. So they won the Super Bowl 30 against the Panthers after having a 14-2 record in the regular season and 5-1 in divisional play. Now, offensively, they were middle of the road, ranking 12th and 17th in scoring offense and total offense, respectively. But they were, once again, elite defensively, ranking first in scoring defense and seventh in total defense. So this is still the era where the defense was really carrying the bulk of the load, where Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi, and Willie McGinnis and those guys, Richard Seymour, those guys were still carrying the load for the franchise. So they won. They beat the Panthers to get their second Super Bowl championship in a 3-year span. At the third spot, we have the 2004 Patriots, finishing 14-2 likewise, like their 2003 counterparts, and also with the 5-1 divisional record. They beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 39 after vastly improving their offense from to 4th and 7th in scoring offense and total offense, respectively. Now, the defense dipped slide a bit, going from 1 to 2 in scoring defense and from 7 to 9 in total defense, but of course they were still elite. Everybody regarded them as arguably the top in the league, despite what the numbers say. And they got their third championship in a matter of 3 to 4 seasons. At the second slot, we had the 2016 Patriots, 14-2 overall in the regular season and 5-1 against the AFC East. They won Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons in dramatic and epic comeback fashion, down 28-3. Seeing all the scoreboard memes, down 25 points midway through the third quarter. I thought it was over. And I just feel like, well, they just lost this one. They just get it again next year. Falcons choked the game away, but Patriots had to take advantage, in which they did. So to get their unprecedented 5 trophies, the way they did it was just unbelievable. Winning in overtime, they just were the more battle-tested, more gutsiest performances you'll ever see. And what just on paper, what really impressed me, I didn't know that team was that special with the 14-2 record and ranking top 4 in scoring offense and total offense and top 8 in the defensive categories. They were really impressive as well that year. So that's what a huge reason to why they were also bumped up to the 2nd spot. Last and definitely not least are the 2017 New England Patriots with the unblemished, iconic 16-0 record, and of course 6-0 within the division. I feel like this is the greatest team in the history of the franchise, which is somewhat crazy to say for a franchise that has 6 championships, especially 5 of those 6 coming in within the 2002 to present realignment era. But the way they dominated offensively, they're arguably the greatest offense in the history of the sport. I remember my dad one time during the season, he was, I don't know what I was doing, I don't remember, but he was at home and he was watching the game. I think he told me it was we was having a conversation with somebody else. He was watching the Patriots game against the Dolphins. I think they were the Patriots were on the road, like in Miami. I think the score I don't remember the score. It got to like 40. It was a big margin, like I think 42-7. I don't know if it was that game or another game, but so they went, once the Patriots scored, they went to the commercial break, of course, until they got back on the field. And once they returned from commercial break, it was like a sledding event. It was some type of other skiing event. They just changed it. Well, welcome to the substance. I was like, wow. They didn't want to see that blowout. But I mean, they really changed the game. And what was really impressive about that team to me was they did that in more of a pre-Roger Goodell, pass-happy, protect the quarterback era. Now, even though Roger Goodell was in his 2nd season as a commissioner, but I feel like his imprint on the game came a few years after that 2007 stretch. So that's what made the great 017 so iconic, even without the championship, where they lost. The Giants is one of the biggest upsets in the history of sports, in my opinion. Before what they did to the Patriots, the undefeated Patriots, because you had Randy Moss coming over from Oakland, Wes Welker was stepping up, and Ben Watt. They had, and the crazy thing is they didn't have like all the stacked stars like the Greatest Show on Turf, or the 2013 Broncos, 2011 Saints and Packers. They didn't have the same amount of star power outside of at the skill position outside of Moss. So to really do what they did, scoring, I want to say 589 points in that season. You couldn't stop them. Only the Giants could stop them. Only playoff Eli could have stopped that team. So that's my list. So I know everybody's gonna have their differing opinions, and I was like, why you didn't put this team on it? But that's what the comment section's for. That's what the likes for. That's what the subscription's for. You can tell me all what you need to tell me on my YouTube channel. I'm just really eager to see what you guys have to hear. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all my YouTube videos and my YouTube channel. You guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.